Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Coach Chris from DefinedRiskInvesting.com. I'm recording this video at 3:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time on August 6th, 2024. Markets closed about 40 minutes ago, and I just got through debriefing the session and looking at a few things. Another challenging trading day. It wasn't as challenging as yesterday or the day before. But one of the things that I did notice today is still very wicky and whippy. And what I mean by that is you'll see every single candle has these long wicks on it. This is a 5-minute chart of the micro NQ, the MNQ September 2024 futures contract. And that's what I traded today. I wasn't going to trade minis, just way too volatile. But this is a 5-minute chart. You can see the candles on both ends. And what I noticed was happening, what they would do is they'd run it up, then bring it down, run it up, bring it down. And you'd stay in areas like that for a real long time and before you'd see any movement. But I'm just going to go over a couple of things. Two of the indicators that I've been working with just were real solid today. And so I wanted to go over that, and I just wanted to recap the market. So here's another 5-minute chart. One of the things I'm doing in 2024, which I've been meaning to do for a long time, is although I do scalp, I wanted to get away from trading just the 1-minute chart. It just, getting a point here, 3 points there, that type of trading. I wanted to look for more longer trades and bigger trades and a more relaxed trading environment. In the past, I'd trade for the day, and by the end of the day, I was just so mentally exhausted from and stressed out, to be quite honest with you, just scratching and clawing for every point. And so I want to transition into a more laid-back trading style, and as I said, get in a trade and let it run for longer periods of time. And so this red and green background here is a regression line, and it gives us an indication of which way the market is trending at the moment. And so you can see this is pointed upward. So we had an upward trending day until the last little bit. And so this is 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. And so we came off the overnight session, had an interesting overnight session, but things had really calmed down today compared to what they were yesterday. And but we're still seeing these long candles. You can see on this 5-minute chart how long they are. And so we came in, very little news this morning, but right a half hour into the market session, we started to get a little volatility. And we got two false triggers on the indicator at 9:20 a.m. We had one to the upside, indicating we maybe go up. And then the next 5-minute candle, it immediately reversed. And then on the candle after the next, we got a up buy indicator that really, really worked for us. And what I've noticed with this is when the market is trading along our algo line here in the center, you'll sometimes get those false positives, what I call false positive triggers, trading triggers, because the market is still trying to make up its mind which way it wants to go. It hasn't truly decided. So what you want to do usually is skip the first one or two that you get, and then usually the third or the last one you get is the one that really, really takes off. And it was true in this case. It was kind of interesting. Let me just get my trade tool out here. Make sure I got a long trade tool. You can see here we triggered on this candle right here. So we'd have an entry right about there. And it went quickly on the third candle to 152-point profit target with literally no drawdown. Okay. Now, what I normally do on these is I normally set a stop loss of between 25 and 50 points with a target of 100 to 150 points or more. And so you can see what I'm saying when I'm going for these longer trades. So we are triggered on this candle, and you can see that candle went up nicely, 3 candles in a row, and we were already at our 150 point goal. So then what you'll notice happened, we traded sideways for a little bit and had this pullback right back to our algo line with 2 candles back into the algo line. It didn't trigger anything because it didn't drag the other algo line down to or through the algo line, but so we really didn't get out of the trade. And if you'll notice here, we still wouldn't have gotten called out anyway or stopped out, even if we didn't take our 100 or 100. In this market, I'm taking 100 points, 150 points all day long, every chance I get. Even on a micro, you're looking at $300 per contract. And so after that, you can see this thing took off and just gradually crawled a few bigger bars here. And ultimately, if you'd have stayed in this trade, let me just take a quick look. I didn't even measure this out yet. Here's your entry on this candle right here. And this thing would have gotten you, and of course, you're never going to get perfect entry and a perfect exit. But that's just to give you an idea, 300 points, which I don't think there's anybody would complain about this. But like I said, there's no one that's going to trade stay in a trade. It opened at 9 and didn't reach its peak till 2 in the afternoon Central Daylight Time. And so then you'll notice this afternoon this fairly rapid decrease, which triggered a sell at 255 right as the market was closing. And we could have caught, I didn't trade this algo this late in the day, even though I could have. That's a 130 point move to the downside, followed, this is really interesting, by a 136 point retracement back up to the upside. That's at 25 minutes after the mark. No, what is that? That's at 3:25. Yeah, 25 minutes after the market closed. And then it proceeds to go down another 100 and some points. So it was an interesting close to the market. I had stopped trading by then, but you'll see a couple of triggers and a couple of nice profits. Now, I got to show you this because this thing literally kicked some rear end today. This is the newest algo I'm dealing with here, and I did trade this. And I hit 1, 2, I think it was 5 absolutely amazing trades. So just to give you an indication here, this is last night, Monday night at 2300, okay? And then the 6th, which is today, starts right in this area. And you can see almost right away there was a trigger to the downside. I wasn't trading, so I did not catch that. But what you'll notice is what the parameters are is when you see the down red arrow, that's an entry. We set our stop equal to the width of this ribbon right here. And you'll notice how this contracts and expands depending on the volatility in the market. When there's obviously more volatility, we want to trade wider, okay? This was an amazing trade for this hour. Normally, I don't recommend you trade this in the non New York session, but in this case, you could have made some money if you'd held out. So, for instance, I'm gonna look at worst case scenario. Let's assume you entered here, even though the algo triggered up here. Let's just say worst case scenario, you entered here. You would have got to this point a 325 point trade. Here again, no one's going to enter and take advantage of everything, but you'll notice also what is built into this these X's here are when we recommend getting out of the trade. So let's just assume, let's take half of that candle because you should catch at least that. Here again, it's another 150 point trade. I mean, it's these indicators I've been using, I'm very, very happy. This particular one has less false positive triggers because the entry criteria are a little more stringent. So here's the first trade I took. I started trading around 4:30 to 5 o'clock Central Time. This trade to the upside, right here at this pivot low, I could sense a little change in the market. You know, you're getting a little closer to market open. You're getting more participants. And you can see how this thing had slowly grinded its way to this point here. And then it started to change direction. But the algo held off. And it finally fired halfway through this band with a long entry. Let's just get our trade tool, and that is to the top, 111 points. Our stop loss would have been 74 points, but we never really took any heat on that trade at all anyway. So I normally, like I said, take 100 points. That's more than enough for my trading. So that trade was over. We trickled down a little bit, down to 720. There was no real significant news coming out. So I was trading and I felt pretty confident that I wasn't going to get into any trouble with any news affecting us. And I could see that the market had settled down for us much more than what it had been yesterday and Friday. Other than the fact that we're still getting some real wide candles. You can see the wicks on some of those. So at 720, we triggered into a short position with a stop loss of, let me see here, right around 40 points. And you can see here of where they issued the first take profit at 111 points. And if you were more aggressive, it did ultimately go to 200 points of profit. And here again, most of these trades, really, you're not getting a lot of heat or pressure put on you. You can see here, boom. This one, boom. You know, here. The only thing that did happen, if you'd have stayed in, not happy with the 100 points, you can see this consolidation, and then it did drift back up and touch the top of the ribbon. However, our stop loss would have been way up here anyway, because we go the width of the ribbon at the entry point, okay? And so this is actually, significantly below that. I'll measure it out quick just to give you an idea. So here was our stop loss. It would have been to there 30 points. So we never really took a lot of heat, even if we'd have stayed till fruition and picked up the full 20. So let me just count that. I did not take this trade, even though that would have been, 200 plus points. I did take this trade. I came away with 100 points. This one, I only took the first. That was another. So we were 2 for 2, 100 points each, 200 points. Then this was a swing low, turned around, and halfway up the ribbon again, we get triggered into a long position. I mean, it was really a nice day, very well suited for this algo. So let's just get out our trade tool. Entry would have been here. Stop loss at the base of the ribbon. That gives us almost a 38 point. And let's just see right there. Oh, sweet! 236 points. Now it gets even better in a very short period of time. Remember, I'm trading the 5-minute. I don't want to trade the 1 minute anymore, if at all possible. The 1 minute really doesn't give you much information, and so you're left to really, really scramble with your trading. I just prefer this. You're going to get much bigger trades, a lot less stressful, a lot less mental energy exposed. So that was a period. The trade triggered at 9 a.m. Central Time, and here we are at 9:50. So a little less than an hour, we were up 230 points. Now, here again, if you were really adventurous, the thing went for 380. I mean, even with a micro, that's $760 per contract. So what I normally do, I haven't been today, yesterday, and Friday just because of the volatility. You leave one runner on. I mean, you're already way above break even at this point anyway. You know, put a runner on, let the thing run. You know, and I mean, even like I say, with a micro, you can make some big money. So now this was a surprise. I did not see this coming. First of all, I was surprised by this run up, to be quite honest. Not that we had, but the extent of what we did, and then it occurred that late in the day. But then you can see what happened here. This is at 255. I don't trade normally, and I didn't enter this trade. But if you would have got a banger, and it happened super, super fast. So let's get the short position tool out. So we were triggered right here at, I'm sorry, this trade went off at 2 o'clock. So it starts here. The stop loss, really, there was none because we were already at the edge of the band when it triggered. But look at this thing. Look at this thing, how beautiful this is. Here's a suggested stop loss, okay, 200 points. Ultimately, the thing goes, yeah, I moved a tool down by accident. I was only trying to take the green part down. Let's take this down. Oh my gosh. Another 350 points. So, I mean, and this is silly to even say because no one would have done this, but say you trade it perfectly, that's 1,000-point day. It's insane. But here's the good news. You don't have to get the full 1,000. I mean, I don't recommend trading the overnight session. So this trade, I wouldn't recommend. Trade it at your own risk for those. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 trades during normal trading hours, all 100 plus points. So even if you were trading one micro and you only went to the 100-point stop loss and not the advanced stop loss, you'd be looking at a 400-point day. Okay, so that's 400 times $2 per contract on the micros. That's an 800-point day. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So I'm still testing this. I tested it fairly extensively. However, I wanted to make sure that it performed in different types of markets. Now, I don't normally like it in a sideways or consolidating market. I like more of an oscillating market or a trending market. As long as you catch the beginning of the trend, it will keep you in the trade. So I'm going to try and release this in a week or two. I'm still putting some videos and instructions and tweaking a few things, and it's going to be very affordable. If you're looking for a trading strategy that can get you a huge amount of points, keep you out of trouble, very defined rules, mechanical stop losses. I mean, this thing can't be beat. I haven't seen many tools like this that are as easy to enter. I'll make another video or more videos about it coming up shortly, but it really, really knocked the socks off of it today. So thanks for hanging in there with me. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button down below and subscribing to the channel, I appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions, leave them down below. or if you have any suggestions on topics you'd like to see me cover, go ahead and do that as well. So thanks again. You guys have a great afternoon.